Hello there guys, Bilbo10000 here, bringing you a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate discussion video, because today we are going to be taking a look at a Twitter thread regarding the Brave leak and what it could all mean and where the speculation scene is at right now. Now, I wouldn't usually look at these threads, I barely make these videos anymore. Like, if you look at my history of my channel over the last few months, Smash speculation has not really been at the top of my radar anymore since the game is out and there's only so much you can speculate on. However, this user on Twitter, at SakakiNeko1997, did manage to ping me and a few other YouTubers wanting to get the message out there, and I can't deny that. Like, if you're gonna actually go out of your way to tag me, and you're gonna put the effort into your thread, then of course I'm gonna give you some help and just kind of go through the speculation that you've put out there and see if it's any good. And it is very, very interesting because it involves my favorite boy himself, Vergaben. All of you remember how he was probably the leaker that kind of jump-started my leak videos last year, because he ended up being right for the most part with a lot of his stuff, and he was always bringing out new information every month, and it was kind of fun. But something interesting is going on. So I'm going to read Sakaki's Twitter thread, and then at the end I'm going to deliver my own thoughts, because there's a lot to get through, so let's just read these tweets, see what's going on, and then see what happens at the end. Okay, something has been going on with Vergaben and their sources involving the Square rep. Their sources, doubts, and the recent fabricated sources led me to this thread. I want to address the whole Square Enix rep leak, explaining a bunch of his actions with the source's existence. So first of all, Vergaben was, I'll get there in a second, an infamous leaker who seems to be Smash Ultimate's equivalent to Sal Romano or the Gamatsu leak, which is pretty accurate. So, back when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's announcement for the Nintendo Switch happened, Vergaben claimed that Ridley and Simon Belmont would be playable and that the Ice Climbers would be returning. He also claimed that everyone from Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U would be coming back, and I covered this in a video myself. Vergaben, very interesting leaker. At the time, Vergaben gained a lot of popularity for his leaks, especially his Smash Ultimate leaks, leading people to believe that he is more correct than he already is. However, Vergaben stated that Square Enix would get a second character, and there is a lovely picture of Vergaben's post saying that the latest he has heard is Square Enix will be getting a new character, though he doesn't know who it is. And if I recall, there was drama about whether it was, like, there was a list of characters, and no one was sure whose was whose, and who were leak bait. So, Vergaben said that if the Square Enix newcomer isn't in the base game, it will be included as DLC, but interestingly also said that it would be the first DLC newcomer. He was right about a Square Enix newcomer being DLC, but being the first DLC was unknown at the time. Pause. Pause right there. Slight incorrect notion there. We do not know if there is a Square Enix newcomer being DLC yet. That has not been 100% confirmed. We don't know anything aside from Joker, who belongs to Atlas, and Piranha Plant, who belongs to Nintendo. So I don't know where that's coming from. Is that speculation that I haven't seen yet? I'm not too sure. He also claimed that he had heard 7 name characters that was mentioned once or many times, to in which people seemingly have support in favor of the Square rep after guessing a few things right. However, after the Grinch leak being faked, things started to go downhill lately. Ooh, okay, alright. Vergaben claimed that Minecraft was still in the game, just as a boss. Wow, this honestly doesn't make any fucking sense, because data miners and people who haven't played the game early, before the game released, did not and still not have claimed that exact thing. So why was Vergaben claiming this? Could this have been an elaborate lie? Could it be that Minecraft Steve is coming to the game as DLC and he was pushed back? Who knows? On December 6th, 2018, in the Video Game Awards 2018, it was announced that Joker from Persona 5 was the first DLC character coming in Smash Ultimate, bringing the whole Square Enix rep coming to an end. Or was it? Now, the next part is where things get interesting. So, during December, it was confirmed by data miners that the codename DLC characters were keeping it a secret to insiders for a long time. That is correct. The people who knew about the codenames had been keeping it for a secret a lot longer than when we found out. That was like a whole big thing that, a whole big drama that happened. The codenames Paku and Jack were found in November 20th, and the codename Brave was found on the launch version patch of Ultimate. And this caused a fuckload of speculation by the fanbase and data miners, myself included as well. A few weeks after the datamine speculation, a user named ChronoXIV, I can't remember what that Roman numeral is, so who I have never heard of, accidentally leaked the 7 Square Enix names list. He was adamant of not wanting it to be leaked. And with Polar Panda Sabi accidentally confirmed it was leaked. Oh, okay, so there's like drama I didn't know about. There are people confirming these leak lists. Did Chrono receive information from Vergaben, and Sabi knows something about it? I could be wrong, this is speculation here. Anyway, the list of 7 names are Erdrick from Dragon Quest III, Luminary from Dragon Quest XI, Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, Chrono from Chrono Trigger, Geno from Super Mario RPG, Sora from Kingdom Hearts, and a fucking slime from the Dragon Quest series. After the whole 7 names being leaked, Vergaben has taken aggressive actions with the leak. Their sources have started to bank on Erdrick being the next Square rep, with not realizing that Vergaben has been editing and deleting his posts to make himself look more correct. All the drama, all the tea, all the spice. Now, at the time, I was not bothered by something he did or what he is doing, but rather of what's been going on with his sources. However, after the recent Nintendo Direct, I believe I may have figured it out. Vergaben said that the Star Fox Grand Prix and Pikmin 3 port would be revealed in the Direct, and the new 2D Zelda game is not connected to Link's Awakening, and he got all of those incorrect. If that wasn't enough for you, Star Fox Grand Prix wasn't being developed, and it turned out to be leak bait, which spread a lot of mess with the leakers. Has this been confirmed yet? That Star Fox Grand Prix was just faked? Like, because it could still be a real thing. Every insider mistook Star Fox Grand Prix over Starlink's side mode. It's really insane to think about. Really? I mean, that's an idea, but is that the truth? Is that possible? Because the thing with Star Fox Grand Prix is if you think Star Fox Grand Prix is in development, that would probably be in development with a company that's connected to Nintendo, whereas Starlink Battle for Atlas is a Ubisoft title. Like, it's being developed by Ubisoft, so most of the insiders who see all of Nintendo stuff shouldn't really be seeing Starlink. So, it's interesting to think about, could Star Fox Grand Prix have just been mistook for Starlink's side mode, or is Star Fox Grand Prix still a thing? It's interesting speculation nevertheless. Some people have seemingly come out saying that Erdrick is still likely, and seems that their sources have not been wrong. Some have seemed to completely refuse to speak about the Square rep, saying that a Dragon Quest character is likely. And a Twitter user, who is a good friend of this person's, named TomoTakino26, gave excellent points against Erdrick's chances in being in Smash, or rather the cons about Dragon Quest representation in Smash in general. I'll post a link to the Twitter thread below. So after seeing the whole story with the Square rep leak, the whole Star Fox Racing game leak being fabricated, how Vergaben's recent leaks have been wrong, seeing Tomo's thread about Dragon Quest Negotiations Nightmare, which was the one that I believe I covered in my Is Erdrick a Nightmare video, this has led me to come up with 3 theories over the Square rep. Here's the theories. 1, I think a Square rep is still likely, but it's not Erdrick. 2, a Brave character is happening that is not a Square rep. 3, Erdrick is still happening and that whole disaster of fabricated sources does not matter. What's the conclusion here? This person's conclusion is that regardless if the next Brave character is a Square rep or not, this is just my opinion based on what I gathered and heard so far, and Vergaben's actions towards the recent leaks have been sketchy. Always make your own conclusions, and before you ask, yes, I understand the history of how Dragon Quest impacted gaming in Japan. In fact, I would honestly be shocked if Dragon Quest were not in Japan, but that's just one factor here. Whenever you guys think it's Erdrick or not, the common theme here is that Vergaben and the fanbase still think Erdrick is likely, without realizing that sources can be fabricated. It's a mess, I'm not sure what to think, is there something weird going on behind the scenes? Okay, and he lastly says, I'll end this thread by saying something first and foremost, I think she actually. I am not an insider, so I will leave that to those who are. I am just a human being like the rest of you. Please feel free to call me Sakaki. If I missed something or misrepresented everyone I mentioned, I'm sorry. So, I'm gonna be completely real. After reading through this thread, because I decided not to read through the thread pre-recording, because I wanted to get my base reactions here. Right now, this is very much in speculation territory. We were aware of that going into this, but it is very heavy speculation. I mean, first of all, there is no proof that Star Fox Grand Prix was just Starlink's side mode? Have people actually confirmed that? Have insiders confirmed that this was a mistake they have made? I don't know, and I feel like if Star Fox Grand Prix is a game that is still in development, it's going to be nowhere near Ubisoft's stuff, and we know that Ubisoft has been working on Starlink, and I feel like this is information that should have come out when Starlink first was released, if it was the case that Starlink was actually Star Fox Grand Prix, or whatever the tweet is trying to say. On top of that, even though people are giving good points against Erdrick being in Smash, I still don't think that the fabricated sources that Vergaben and everyone else is getting is really something to worry about when it comes to thinking about whether Erdrick's going to be in. The point I want to know is that Vergaben got a majority of the Smash content right, but he's not been very good at getting anything that isn't involved in Smash correct. Like, obviously he got a lot about the last Nintendo Direct wrong, but his Smash content is still top tier. He pretty much guessed the entire roster of unique characters prior to the launch of the game. And I feel like even if he has made some mistakes, I still think that a Dragon Quest character is likely. If so many insiders and so many people are still on the Dragon Quest bandwagon, chances are there is more of an element of truth to that than starting a speculational theory about, oh, it could all be a fake, it could all be wrong, it could all be something else. Honestly, after looking through this, I personally I still think Erdrick is the likely character. I don't want it to be Erdrick. I'd like it to be Sora, or Chrono, or Geno. But if we're getting Erdrick, like, a lot of things are just kind of pointing towards him, including, but not limited to, when they data mined the Brave character's fighter statistics, and they put that onto another model, and the model was kind of floaty, which kind of put people thinking it could be Erdrick or Sora. On top of that, as I said, a majority of the insiders have been saying Erdrick is probably gonna be going with it. On top of that, there were so many Dragon Quest announcements in the last Direct, and Dragon Quest XI got a massive portion of that Direct dedicated to it. So it would make sense that with Dragon Quest XI coming to the Switch and getting probably the best version, like if you bought the PS4 version for Dragon Quest XI, I'm so sorry. But with that happening, I feel like it just makes sense that they want to have a character as well. The only thing I could say that probably goes against Erdrick is that the character would have made sense to have been announced in the last Direct when we were discussing Dragon Quest XI. Have that massive sequence with the Dragon Quest XI, and then bam, Smash trailer with Erdrick. Unless they haven't actually started working on the character yet, and they have still only really worked on Joker to the point of playability. If Erdrick was actually ready to be shown off, then I think he would have been shown off. And it's also worth noting that because Joker didn't have any real gameplay about him when we saw him last time, potentially that could simply mean that if Erdrick is the next DLC character, he just simply wasn't in a state where they could announce him yet. And I just, I don't want it to be Erdrick, but even with this like speculation that Sakaki has come up with, I still don't think it's enough to really knock the fact that Erdrick is a very high potential character to get into this DLC roster. But really, it is down to what you guys think. What do you guys think of this Twitter thread? I will leave a link to it below so you can look at it for yourself, try and make sense of it as well. But personally, I still think Erdrick is one of Square's like top 3 competitors. I think it's going to be between Erdrick, Sora, and maybe Chrono. I actually think Chrono has a genuine shot with Square Enix because, you know, Square Enix doesn't have that many characters they can really chuck out there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos on all things gaming. I do video game reviews, guides, and gameplay, and it's pretty fun. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.